You ever been in scrolling through real estate listings and a price just makes you stop and say, wait, what? Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to deconstruct the value of what looks like a pretty standard suburban home in Walnut, California that's listed for almost $900,000. Okay, let's jump right in and figure out what's really going on here.
So, this is the big question, right? What are you really buying for $888,888? Because, when you see a price tag like this, it's almost never just about the house itself, the walls, the roof, the yard. It's about a whole package of things. Some you can see and touch, and some are completely invisible. We're going to break down exactly what that money gets you.
And here it is. This is our case study, 343 Acaso Drive. At first glance, it's a classic California ranch home. 3 beds, 2 baths. Looks nice, right? It's well kept, looks clean, but does it scream almost $1 million home to you? Probably not. So we gotta dig a little deeper.
All right, first things first. Let's look at the property on paper, the tangibles. This is all the stuff you can physically measure, you can walk on, you can touch, the basics.
So the stats are pretty straightforward. It's a single-story ranch built back in 1976. The listing says it's move-in ready, has an open floor plan, laminate flooring, easy to take care of. It's a solid, clean, totally functional family home. But so far, nothing here is really justifying that huge price tag. The house itself, a pretty modest 1,260 square feet. Now, that's a perfectly comfortable size, for sure, but we're not talking about a mansion here. Keep this number in your head, though, because it's going to be really important in a minute. But honestly, it's what's outside the walls that starts to tell the real story. And boom, here's our first major clue. The lot size is over 16,000 square feet. That's more than 1/3 of an acre. For a suburban property in Southern California, that is a huge, huge piece of land. This massive yard is a major asset, no doubt. But even that isn't the whole story. Okay, now let's get to what many people would argue is the real star of this show. The true value of this property isn't just the house or even the land it sits on, it's where that land is located. This is all about location and the lifestyle that comes with it. And here is the secret ingredient. 343 Acaso Drive is zoned for the Walnut Valley Unified School District. And this isn't just any school district. It's ranked as one of the absolute best in the entire state. For a lot of families, buying this house isn't just buying a place to live. It's like buying a ticket to a world-class education for their kids. Just look at this educational path. I mean, for a parent, this is the dream. You start at a highly rated elementary school, then you move on to a middle school that's in the top 5% of the whole state, and you finish at Walnut High, which has a perfect 10 out of 10 rating. This isn't just a school district, it's a launch pad. And here's the proof in the pudding. Check out the graduation rate at Walnut High, 98%. That's a full 11 points higher than the California state average. See, this isn't just some abstract rating. These are real, tangible results that families are quite literally buying into. And it just keeps getting better. The average SAT score for students at Walnut High is a seriously impressive 1,340. That tells you that the students here are being prepped for college and for their futures at an incredibly high level. And just to put a final bow on it, the high school is ranked in the top 10% of all high schools in California. So when you take this incredible, powerful, intangible, the schools, and you combine it with that huge, tangible asset, the lot size, well, that price tag starts to make a whole lot more sense.
Okay, so we've got a giant lot and some of the best public schools around. Now let's break down how that actually translates into dollars and cents. Let's talk financials.
So when you do the math, this home is priced at $705 per square foot. Now, if you look at comparable homes in the area, the comps as they're called, they're selling for closer to the $600 mark. So what's that extra $100 per square foot? Well, you could call it the school district tax or the big lot premium. It's the price of those extra features made visible. So how you justify paying that premium? Well, it's this exact combination. You're paying for access to an elite school system. You're paying for a massive piece of land, which is rare. You're paying for a house you can move into right away. And you're doing all of this in a really competitive seller's market where there just aren't a lot of homes like this available. Now, to make that big number feel a little more real, here's a rough idea of the monthly cost. Let's say you put 20% down at about a 7% interest rate. You're looking at a total monthly payment somewhere in the mid-$5,000 range. This really helps you understand the actual financial commitment of buying into this specific location. All right, let's pull all these threads together and try to come to a final verdict on 343 Acaso Drive.
To do that, you really have to take a balanced look at both the good and the trade-offs. So on one hand, the highlights are undeniable, right? Top-tier schools, a massive lot, and the convenience of a single-story, move-in-ready home. That's a powerful combo. But on the other hand, you have to remember this is a home built in 1976. It comes with a premium price tag, the market is super competitive, and like most suburbs, you're pretty much going to need a car to get anywhere. And this whole thing really leaves us with a fascinating question that pretty much every home buyer has to face. Are you just paying for the cost of a physical building, or are you paying for the value of the life you can build there? The community, the opportunities for your kids, the future it represents? It really makes you think. For any of us looking at a house, are we buying a property or are we buying a future?